Welcome to the kingdom.
And I also was saying you also want to have somebody that's going to hold you accountable.
Yes, sir.
And there's somebody that will allow you to hold them accountable,
Yes,
because you don't want nobody that's going to allow you to live any kind of Christian way,
That's good.
or allow somebody to live any kind of Christian way. Because, as spouses, we get to learn each other.
That's good, man.
And when you learn in each other, you find out each other's flaws and this, that, and the
Yes,
third,
sir.
but you don't use that against the other person
That's right.
either.
That's right.
And so, but you also want to make sure that you're able to be in a position to hold them in accountability in love.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah.
In love.
Yeah.
Not in rebuke.
Right.
Not in punishment.
Right.
Not in anger,
Right.
but in love, because
And for the betterment of y'all in the relationship. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
it
saying?
helps.
Because that's how the devil gets in. Because, honey, if I let you continue to slip here, then you're going to slip over there. Then you're going to slip over there. Or if you be negligent here, then you're going to be negligent over there. And it's holding accountable in love, sort of like what Paul did to Peter.
yes, sir.
Paul loved Peter, but when Paul saw Peter's behavior wasn't right, Paul says, listen, I had to sit and confront him to his face. You know what I'm saying? And we need that, because without accountability, we're in trouble.
A lot of trouble. So I say
That's
that
good,
right
man.
there. You want to do that, make sure, because if you don't, I'm telling you, it's going to be a long ride. And one thing the devil don't like more than anything is two Christians that become one.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're better together.
Yes, sir.
We are better together.
We're better together.
And if you don't understand nothing else, you're better together. So when you looking for a mate, you want to make sure somebody, because I know, we laugh and we kid, this and the third about certain things, but, finding them in the church, the church is always a great place to go and
Right.
look, but you need to find out where the person's heart is,
Yes,
because
sir.
people can put up the front.
Yes, sir.
People know how to camouflage it.
Yes,
Like
sir.
the devil be in the church too. He know how to do all those things. And it's a lot of people that, I know as a pastor, you've seen those who come to the house, and it's like,
Well, I've had the unfortunate privilege, Godson, of having to put a gentleman out of our church because he would not listen. He thought, see, the kingdom, we have certain terms. If you come to the kingdom, we're going to say grace, grace. We always say that the kingdom is a safe place of grace. We're not judgmental. We're not pharisaical and all that. But we're going to hold you accountable for your behavior, as you have witnessed with it. But we're going to say lovingly. We're going to hold you accountable.
lovingly.
You know what I mean?
That's
Because
the
why?
word right
The
there.
Bible says, speak the truth in love.
Love.
You know what I mean? As
Absolutely.
many as I love, I rebuke. If the God don't love you, he don't correct you. Okay, so but I've had a couple of gentlemen to roll through, and as you know, because my daughters are your god sisters, as you know, I'm a god dad and I'm also a god granddad. And so I'm a little biased, I'll be honest, towards the girls, and even more so towards the women that come to our church, because see, the women that come to my church, those that receive me, I'm like a spiritual father. So I got to protect them. And you've had gentlemen, to your point about somebody going to hold you accountable. We've had gentlemen come into church and would want to flirt with the women, make passes at the women. I even invited one of the guys from who I exercise with there. And they don't know, man, listen, when you come in there, we're going to hold you accountable.
Absolutely.
And I've had to put one guy out because several of the sisters said he was making them uncomfortable. And this is when the straw, they say the old folk, you say the straw that broke the camel's back. I never understood what that meant. But anyway, it's when my wife felt uncomfortable.
Oh, no,
now, when my wife felt uncomfortable, it's time to go. You ain't got, back at the school, back in the old days, we said you ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here. You know what I mean? And I had to put this guy out. And, people need to know that when it comes to that type of thing, even God doesn't play. And people got to be held accountable, man. You know what I mean? People got to be held accountable. So you were saying about that piece, about the accountability piece.
Yeah, so definitely you got to make sure you do that. So, and you got to make sure that they for real. They for real. So, like we say in our new generation, you got to check their temperature. You got to make sure you know what's going on, because a lot of people will pretend because they feel like, oh, okay, well, if I pretend to love God, maybe she'll like me more. Or if I pretend to love this guy, maybe he'll like me more. And it's like, no, because at the end of the day, God going to show you. God going to show you. Now, God will give you the chance to get it together, But if you just pretending and you faking, trust me, he gonna as we like to say, he gonna pull your car.
Yeah, yeah.
He gonna pull your car and he gonna let it be known. So those are some things that I want to let it be known. Like just because they here or they there or they this and they that, like no, it's about what's up in here.
Exactly.
Because they could be singing, they could be dancing, they could be ministering, they could be doing
absolutely.
a lot of things and
Absolutely.
stuff like that. And as a young Christian, somebody who's trying to be, want to be a Christ-like, in today's world, you got to understand, like, hey, if they don't have that Christ-like character,